everyone, thank you for joining me today. We'll be doing a full class focusing on the whole body, stretching and strengthening. So let's begin seated on our mat, working through our pranayama, our breathing practice. If you're comfortable, close your eyes, open the palms, and inhale the breath, nourishing the body, and exhale the breath, relaxing the body. Breathing through our nose, feel the breath deep down in the belly. And we'll strive to keep this breath and mind awareness connection throughout the practice. So let's stretch out the neck, drop the right ear to shoulder, and opposite arm stretches out, tugging slightly on the head, placing a bit of weight. And using the breath, inhaling through center, exhale, roll the neck to one side, roll. So we're doing half moons on the forward roll, so we avoid taking the neck all the way back. And inhale back to center. Catching the hands behind us, interlace the fingers and open the chest, lift the chin slightly. And exhale, drop the chin. Interlace the hands in front of us now and pull them away. Separate those shoulder blades. And release back. Hands on the knees, let's dip the shoulders down so we're twisting through the shoulders, the torso. Slowly waking up everything on the upper body. Exhale, dipping the shoulder a little bit deeper and twisting, squeezing the belly out. Inhale, exhale, dip. Inhale through center. Moving on to the legs. We try and take the bottom shin parallel to the front of the mat, and the top shin we're going to cradle the baby. So either we hold onto the foot, the knee, or taking the foot into the elbow if that feels good, and you can continue to sit tall, rock the baby like this. Otherwise holding onto the leg wherever you can to avoid rounding the back too much. So just rock into the hip, inner thigh, knee joint, and changing sides. So bottom leg parallel to the front of the mat, and start rocking on the second leg, holding onto your foot somewhere on the leg, or putting the foot into the elbow crease. Keep lifting the chest, sitting tall. And release into fire log. We're going to try and stack the shins parallel to each other. Can be quite strong. So just pushing down on your shin, bowing forward, keeping the back long, the spine long. Just taking to where it's comfortable for your legs, your hips. So taking care not to press down too hard. Changing sides, stacking, ankle to knee, putting a little bit of weight forward to deepen the stretch but not strain. And each side may be quite different to the other. We may be tighter in one side of the body. And inhale, let go, rising up. We can cross through over the ankles. Come onto hands and knees, all fours, in the center of your mat. And we're going to take our hips high for puppy stretch, melt the heart forward, lengthen the arms. You can keep the toes tucked at the back, connecting with our breath. And inhale, bringing the hands back under the shoulders. Let's thread the needle, so raising the right arm up and then threading it behind the left arm, taking the right shoulder down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen up, squeezing the core. Exhale, tucking it back. Inhale, lengthening out. And exhale, release, changing sides. Left arm up to the sky, thread it behind the right. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, squeeze your core, helps you keeping that left shoulder touching down but still hovering, so you don't put all the weight down onto the mat. And exhale, release. Squeezing your core so we're not putting too much weight into your wrists, your shoulders, lifting the knees off the mat. So squeeze and hold, knees off the mat like the body's a little box. So we're working into the core strength here. You can rest the knees down anytime this becomes too much, otherwise squeeze and hold. Rest and shake out the wrists if you feel it in the wrists, but keep using the arm strength, shoulder strength, core strength to take the weight out of the wrists. Lift the knees. Hold your core strength. Breathing here. And rest the knees down on the mat. Shaking out the wrists if we'd like to. Inhaling once more, squeezing the core, lift the knees up. Squeeze and hold, using the breath. And then we're going to walk through, keeping our knees off the mat if we can. Walk towards the front of the mat, giving us enough space to stretch our legs behind us to come into a high plank. Strong high plank here. Keep pressing that mat away from you. So we're really using the shoulder strength, the back strength. And then we'll squeeze the core, take the hips high, stretch up onto your toes, and then slowly walk out into your down dog. Flexing into the hamstrings, bending into the hamstrings, and holding your down dog, coming back onto the toes once more. And we're going to curl forward into our long plank. So squeeze the core, is low and engaged. Inhale, the hips rise up. So we'll do this a few times, building strength in our upper back, in our core. You can walk out the dog once more. Rising onto the toes. Inhale, squeeze the body forward. Holding the plank. Exhaling. Inhale, squeeze the hips back. Walk back into your downward facing dog. And holding your dog here, release the neck, making sure the shoulders are away from your ears, so we're not holding tension in the shoulders and the neck. We're building strength throughout the body here and flexibility, holding our downward facing dog. And then we'll take the right leg straight up behind us, trying to keep the hips square, shoulders square to the front of the mat, and bring the right knee into the chest, step it forward for lunge. Release the back knee down. We'll go into crescent moon, back bend. And inhale, taking the hips back for runner's stretch. Bowing forward. Inhale, lunging forward, low lunge once more. Planting the hands down and stepping back into plank. Squeezing the hips up. and back into downward facing dog. Repeating this on the left leg. Let's inhale, left leg back, hips stay square. Squeeze the left knee inwards and step it forward for low lunge. Release the back knee down. Inhale and exhale into crescent moon back bend. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, hips back. Bowing forward. Strong hamstring stretch in the left leg. And inhale, release to low lunge. Plant the hands down, step back to plank. You can have your knees down at any time. Squeeze the hips up and step back to downward facing dog. So it was a short sequence that we were going to build on, so take a rest here in child's pose. If you feel any tension in the shoulders, you can take the hands behind, wrap them on the hips, or leave them long in front of you. Extended child's pose here. So breathe into the body, preparing yourself for that sequence once more. So now we know what to expect. Let's inhale, squeeze up the hips, and release back into down dog. Let's take it on the right leg. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, squeeze knee into the chest. Release the back knee, crescent moon back bend. Inhale, take the hips back, run a stretch. Exhale, lunge. Low lunge, let's open the chest, find the strength and balance, lifting that back leg, rising up into crescent lunge now. So trying to move that back leg straight. Release the shoulders away from the ears, and the arms are active. The small fingers are pointing towards each other. Bend through that front knee, and then open up into warrior two. So hips turn on, open, arms open up, gaze is down the middle finger of the front hand. Warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, stretch back, reverse warrior. So we're using our core a lot. Our arms are floating, so there's no weight on our arms, our hands, on our legs. Inhale, forward, side angle. Stretch, lunging forward, stretching and opening the chest. Again, no weight on the hands. Inhale, squeezing to center, and then walking the back foot in, shortening the stance slightly for triangle. So exhale. Keep the weight off that hand and the front leg. Open the chest. Inhaling through center. Exhale, extended triangle, reverse triangle. Inhale through center and exhale down to the front of the mat, twisting on that back foot, pivot round into pyramid stretch. So gazing forward and releasing, bowing, just as deep as it feels good for you. Inhale. Gazing to the front of the mat, let's bounce through the legs, and if we can, lift the left knee, keeping it off the mat. We're going to come into our balance. So you can help the foot into the inner thigh, calf, or have the toes down on the mat for tree pose. Getting the hips level. Inhale, find your balance, and take the arms above the head. You can have the hands parted, hands together, hands at the heart, whichever arm variation you prefer. So balance here and focus in on the breath. Stilling the mind and slowly releasing the pose. Let's exhale the hands back to the center of the body. And with control, Stepping down on the left leg, forward fold, step back the left leg to low lunge, press into the mat and squeeze back the right leg into high plank. You can take a full chaturanga vinyasa here if you'd like to, or inhale and lift the hips like we've been doing, back to downward facing dog. Exhale and stretch it out here. If you need to, let's take a rest in child's pose together. Or you can be up in your downward facing dog. Keep building strength in the body. So whichever pose we're in, let's focus in on the breath, and we'll repeat that sequence on the left leg. So inhaling, take the left leg high. Exhale, squeeze it into the chest, step it forward. Low lunge, and release the right leg, right knee back into crescent moon, back bend. Inhale forward, and exhale, bowing down, take the hips back, runner stretch. Inhale, gazing forward, lifting the back knee now for low lunge, find the strength and balance in the leg. Rise up into crescent lunge on the left leg. Trying to keep the straight back leg, pressing forwards through that ankle. Shoulders away from the ears. Focus on the breath. And on an exhale, let's get ready to move into Warrior Two. So open the hips to the side, open the arms, gaze over the front fingertips. So pressing into the mat through the feet really strongly, lunging forward to build strength. Inhale here. Exhale, let's move the upper body, reverse warrior. Keeping the weight off our arms and legs. So using our core to move through center, inhale. Exhale into side angle stretch. Inhale, rising through center, straightening both legs now, moving the stance a bit smaller for triangle. Squeeze and bend forward. Using your core to keep you up here, keep opening the chest. Inhale through center and exhale, reverse that triangle. Just stretching back. Inhale through center. Exhale, pivot round on the back foot for triangle pose to the front of the mat. So both legs are working towards straight if you can. Bowing forward. Inhale, gaze forward, getting ready to bounce up into our balance. Lift the right knee now. Place your foot in the same position as your previous side for tree pose. Staying at the front of the mat, I'll just move into side view so I can show you the same tree that we did on the previous side. Maybe taking your arms up above the head, splitting the hands, keep them together. Take your arm variation. Connecting with your breath here. Slowing the mind down in a balanced tree pose. And exhale, slowly start to come out, bringing the hands back to center. Stepping down and folding forward. Staying with the left leg, let's step the left leg back. Low lunge. Step the right leg back. High plank. Take a chaturanga or squeeze the hips back. Step into down dog. And exhale, stretching out the whole body. And releasing down into child's pose. So we're feeling stronger, enlivened, We've built some heat in the body, building our strength. And inhale, come to seated, cross the feet through, and bring the soles of the feet to meet each other. And let the knees flop outwards for butterfly. Flapping the butterfly wings. And then holding the legs still, let's stretch it forward. So try to keep the spine long once more. Keeping the chest open, bow forward for your butterfly stretch. So you don't have to curl the back completely and let the head drop. Keep your head and neck and spine in one long line. And inhale, rising up. We can turn sideways on our mat if we want. For side body stretch, let's take the left leg out together and keep the right knee bent. Opposite hand towards opposite thigh or leg. And then stretching the right arm. So we're opening the right side at the moment. And you're just stretching over. Don't have to catch the toes. Whatever feels good for your body. Inhale, rising up. And bringing in the knee, let's take it into a half hero variation. So maybe catching underneath the thigh or on top of the thigh. And again, stretching the right arm over the body. So side stretch with this half hero leg variation. And squeezing the knee back into the chest, the right knee, and then let the right leg go long. Taking the left knee. First placing the foot inside the right thigh. Catch the opposite thigh with the right hand now, and then the left arm. Let's stretch the left side body. So side bending, maybe you're catching the toes. Maybe you use a strap in your practice to open the side body. Inhale, rising through. Exhale, let's try changing the leg variation into half hero. If it feels okay and safe for your knee, we can catch the thigh under the leg with the right hand and open up. Stretch up and over with the left side body. And inhale when you've had enough of the stretch, release. Bring both knees into the chest. And then roll slowly down onto the back. Squeeze the knees, hug them tightly into the chest, maybe lifting the head. Squeeze yourself into a ball. Tight, tight, tight. And then release, hands to knees. And rotate the knees round in a circle. Few times in each direction. Flex the feet, part the knees now, and grab a hold of the outside of the feet for happy baby rock side to side. Press your lower back into the mat. Feel the opening in the hips. Massaging the spine. And bring the soles of the feet to touch. For reclined cobbler, just leave the hips to open here with gravity. So slowing down our breath completely, bringing it back to normal breathing. Rolling our neck side to side to find a comfortable spot on the mat. And releasing the lower legs. Coming into complete stillness and relaxation for Shavasana. And find yourself concentrating on the breath and body connection for as long as you want, if you have time for. A 10-minute Shavasana would be fantastic. Otherwise, bringing the knees into the chest to rock up from the right side. And come back to a seated position. Bringing the hands back to the center of the body. Bowing to yourself and the universe. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.